Hello everybody, and welcome to the instructional video that I promised you on the breath of fire, moving through all of our energy centers and understanding how the human machine will work with the expansive experiential to magnify our magnetic field and our prosperity and our intention and our intuition. So we're going to call this the expansive Tantra Breath of Fire meditation. So this is the video that we're going to talk through it, give you guys basic instruction, and then for the ease of working with this, I'm going to do a second video where we just practice and I talk you through it. So for starters, I want you to just find a comfortable place to sit. The three key ingredients in this are straight spine, supported, and being able to breathe fluidly. So if we're sitting hunched over, it's not going to work. If we're hyperextending, it's not going to work. So here's some suggestions. You can sit chair pose, which we did in the workshop, and many of you have done in workshops as well. You may sit cross-legged in easy pose. For those of you that feel comfortable in this position, just make sure that if you're sitting in easy pose and cross-legged, that you give yourself a little elevation under your spine. Can you see the difference here between this and then elevating the spine a little bit, how much straighter I sit without having to put much effort in? The third way you can sit is in rock pose. And this is a great pose because it automatically lengthens your lower back and tucks your pelvis slightly and ignites your core. However you want to sit is okay. Just make sure that if you're sitting on a couch or in a chair, that your spine is supported somehow with some sort of lumbar positioning or pillows behind it so that you get elevated a little bit and your chest expands open slightly. So if you remember, we have done the breath of fire together, and I created this activity on expansive breath of fire to ignite our magnetic field, our prosperity, our positive thoughts, rewiring our brain. I did this, you're not going to find it in any Kundalini Yoga manual, but I took it from the science behind what all of this is. It's not a traditional Kriya. I created this so that we could be efficient, do it daily, and work with it and expand it over time. So first of all, I just want to say the breath of fire is one of the most powerful breaths we can do. And even if you only do it for 1 minute with none of the stuff that we created around it, you will still reap its benefits. In the PDF that I sent all of you, I talk a little bit about doing it for 1 to 3 minutes, 3 to 7 minutes, 7 to 11 minutes, and what that engenders for our system. So even if you only do it for 1 to 3 minutes, you're going to be oxygenating and purifying your blood. You're going to be sending messages to your brain by igniting the intuitive neurochemistry in your gut, and you will be starting to work the nervous system on a very superficial level to calm it down, to get rid of that agitation. When you move to 7 minutes, you start introducing the glandular system into regenerative nature. You start to work with some of the glands like the thyroid and the parathyroid, the pituitary. And then when you move on to 11 minutes, that's when you start really getting into starting to work on the samskaras and the stinking thinking and the ridges and our negative thought patterns. We start to habituate shifting the negative mind to the neutral mind. And as you move forward through working on this, you'll see in the PDF that I sent you all that you can see after doing these and lengthening out the time frame, that it really has these profound energetic effects on our system. So the breath of fire is a really simple breath once you get used to doing it. And we're going to review it right now before we get into the choreography of the Kriya that I created for all of us. So it's a panting, light, buoyant breath. People sometimes think it's really forceful. This is what it is not. Right? So if you're using your body and it's getting tense and contracted, that is not what's actually going to be happening to give you any sort of positive effects. So let's start with blowing out the candle with our mouth. Try that a few times. Now try it with your nose. You'll notice that the exhale has a slight emphasis, but the inhale recovers naturally. And as you speed it up, it's equal in and out. And that you should be able to do this forever without getting tired. It does tonify your gut. It increases your peristaltic action for digestion. It strengthens the abdominal muscles. It ignites the first, second, and third chakras. It creates heat behind the solar plexus, which helps us detoxify our system. As I said before, it regenerates and oxygenates the blood. So let's give it a try, starting with our nose, dropping our hand, and then speeding up the breath. Gentle. Now drop the hand. Now speed it up. It's like a bouncy ball. It's buoyant. It's light. If you start to feel dizzy, that is just your body oxygenating. We're not used to taking in that much oxygen. I can't remember if I said this, but if you do breath of fire for 1 minute in an asana pose or a Kundalini Kriya, they say that it is worth doing it for an entire hour without the breath. So in 1 minute, you can accomplish with breath of fire in a pose what you would have to do for an hour. So what we're about to do in this choreography of expansion through this Tantra, I don't even know what we're labeling it. We'll think of some great title for it, is using the breath of fire to amplify in a really efficient way all of our power centers, right? We've got these places that we plug in that are our power centers, and we're magnifying them and amplifying them and connecting them to one another. So let me show you the choreography to remind you of what it was, and then we're gonna talk through it instructionally, and then the next video we will practice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hands and we're going to just place them right kind of where the crease happens between your leg and your abdomen. We're doing this just to indicate to our body that we are focusing our energy in between our first and second chakras, which is the area of safety. And second chakra is that of creativity and rebirth and innovation and expansion, right? So we're just sending that indicator. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, then you can do what I call full-on electrical mudra, which is that you're tapping all points of your energy and nervous system together. You're sealing it up so it regenerates back into your body, right? Or you can do both. So place them here, and you'll do the breath of fire. And I'm going to walk you through everything really quickly, and just watch. You'll spend 1 minute here doing breath of fire. Then we're going to make fists. Push them in right above our solar plexus, right above the belly button. This is our core, authentic fire, sun, expansion. We'll do breath of fire there for 1 minute. Then we'll put our hands in prayer pose, tightly pressing that energy centers together. Take your thumbs and press your knuckles in between the breastplate. Breath of fire here. This will continue for 1 minute. As you're progressing through this, you're going to open your palms, making sure the spines of your hands are pressing tightly together, and you're expanding your fingers, sending the energy out. This goes from the heart, energy, increasing your magnetic field, the spines of your hands touching, expanding your energy through your palms, out your fingers, and from there, stretch your hands forward, continuing in the breath of fire, sending the energy through your fingertips, bringing your hands all the way behind you. There's several different ways we can bring our hands behind our back. Let me show you. You can be in reverse mudra or reverse prayer pose, bringing the shoulders down and away. You can just clasp your elbows and let your shoulders relax, making sure your heart is open. You can just let them drop down comfortably, or you can grab your hands in some comfortable way for yourself. The key is not to overextend your shoulders or overstretch your arms or compromise your elbows in any way. So here we are, breath of fire here. We'll do this for about a minute. As you're doing it, you're going to lean your body forward, making sure that you don't compromise your lower back. Just lean forward slightly. And you're going to, as you do the breath of fire, reach your face up to the heavens and continue the breath of fire here. As you're doing this with your face towards the heavens, you are opening up your heart. You are releasing your throat chakra. You are actually giving a flush of magnetic energy to your face, which makes you glow and shine bright. And it has this incredible attraction factor to it. So if you're ever feeling like you have low energy or you're not feeling very great and you're about to go into a meeting or a bunch of people, sit for a minute and do this. breath of fire, facing the heavens, heart open, throat chakra open. We're also working on the parathyroid and thyroid by opening our throat chakra and facing to the heavens and opening our heart. So keep going with that. That'll be part of that minute. And then we'll really slowly pull our belly back, come to neutral, expand the arms, letting the energy from all that we created come out through our shoulders, through our arms, expanding through our fingertips. Now we're going to use the energy that we generated to really expand our magnetic field. So if you move your hands up and down, this is the length of our magnetic field. Typically we live right about here, right? We keep it really close, but what we have done is we've taken all this energy, indicated to our neurochemistry that we are firing it up, and we brought it up through our gut, increased our energy and our intuition, brought it to the core of our being, fired it up, brought it to our heart where we've increased its magnetic energy. We brought it to the throat where we are increasing our ability to speak our truth through our heart and our core authentic self, using our intuition to guide us. And now we're expanding it out into the universe, increasing our magnetic field. So as we move from here, bringing energy out through our electrical system, through those zappers that are our fingertips, all the way out, we'll raise our arms up above our head. And here's the key to this. You will take the pads of your fingers and place them on the mounds of your palms. These all ignite certain electrical systems in our body. And then we're going to put our thumbs in V's. All of this is an indicator to our system to regenerate and send information and manipulate the direction of our energy flow and ignite certain aspects of our energy flow. We can get more into that if we want to do more of this later, but I'm just giving you a high view. So you'll take them from here, expand them out, bring them up overhead into a V. 60-degree angle is V for victory. And we will continue the breath of fire here for a minute. After that minute ends, you're going to raise your arms above your head and you're going to lock your thumbs together. Just like this. You can either release your hands or you can leave them as is. But you're locking your thumbs together. And you're doing the breath of fire above your head. Let your belly lean back a little bit. Let your breath be easy and buoyant. After 1 minute of doing breath of fire here, you're going to keep your thumbs locked. You're going to inhale deeply. You're going to pull up a little, like you got to pee. I know, best description I can get. And then you're going to pull your belly button back and you're going to pull your throat back a little bit. You are locking in that energy and you're pumping your breath like you're doing the breath of fire, but you're holding your breath in. We'll do that for only about 30 seconds. Then you're going to exhale deeply. You'll pull up on your bottom muscles, pulling your belly buttons back and pull a little bit back on your throat with your breath held out. And you'll pump like you're doing the breath of fire, your breath held out. We'll do that for about 30 seconds. And you're going to release your arms. Really, really noticing the magnetic field, the polar pull, right? You can feel that energy expanding out around you. Let your hands come resting in your lap. You can do any sort of mudra you like, or just let them rest. And then we will do a minute to regenerate and calm any places that got a little fired up from that. So we're going to use the Bikini chakra, which we talked about, which is the drip of honey wisdom that comes through that place where the high ponytail sits, where all wisdom drips down into the brain, the ancient knowledge of everything you've ever known. And then we're going to breathe it out our third eye so that all the wisdom that is yours and uniquely you now can send out into the world. It's Sot, breathe in. Nam, exhale out. Sot, breathe in. Nam, exhale out. You'll do that with your eyes closed, slightly tilted up towards your third eye point for about a minute. So if there's any questions you have about this, please feel free to put them in the thread. There's so many layers of information we can add to this, but I wanted to just give you the choreography of what this is before we close out the session and go into our practice session. So look at the choreography, pretend that you just put me on fast forward, and it looks like this. Okay, I'll see you on the next video.